Did South Korea's president commit treason, or just exercise his constitutional rights? The political storm in South Korea has reached a boiling point as the fate of President Yoon Suk Yeol hangs in the balance. Massive protests, conspiracy theories, and high-stakes courtroom drama, all unfolding in the streets of Seoul right now. But what's really happening behind the scenes, and why has the Constitutional Court delayed the verdict for so long? Stay tuned because we're about to break down the entire story in detail, and you don't want to miss this. Tens of thousands of South Koreans took to the streets on Saturday, March 22nd, as political tensions erupted over the upcoming Constitutional Court ruling on President Yoon's impeachment. This case has gripped the nation for months, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Yoon was impeached after his shocking December 3rd declaration of martial law, an unprecedented move that sent shockwaves through South Korea's political establishment. Lawmakers quickly acted, voting to impeach Yoon, accusing him of insurrection, essentially attempting to overthrow the government from within. But despite weeks of courtroom hearings, the Constitutional Court has yet to issue a decision, and that's where things get complicated. Constitutional Court rulings on impeachment cases typically take 2 to 3 weeks, but Yoon's case is now the longest in South Korean history. The delay has fueled a wave of conspiracy theories. Some speculate that the justices are sharply divided, while others believe that political pressure from Yoon's conservative allies may be influencing the court's decision. What do you think? Is the delay justified, or is this a political game? The protests in Seoul reflect the deep political divide gripping the country. On one side, anti-Yoon protesters are demanding swift action. "It is infuriating that there has still been no formal dismissal," said Kim Min-ji, a 25-year-old protester. By delaying a verdict on the clearly defined charge of insurrection, the court is giving time and strength to the forces that are complicit in Yoon's crime. It's clear that anti-Yoon protesters see this as a critical test of South Korea's democratic institutions. But Yoon's supporters aren't backing down either. Conservative groups, including religious figures and right-wing YouTubers, are rallying behind the president. President Yoon only exercised his right as a president, and it is absurd to perceive what he did as an act of insurrection, said Park Jong-hwan, a 59-year-old supporter. His supporters argue that Yoon's actions were necessary to stabilize the government and prevent unrest. But here's where it gets even more intense. Yoon isn't just facing impeachment, he's also facing criminal charges for insurrection. He was dramatically arrested in a dawn raid in January, but was released in early March due to procedural issues. If the court rules against Yoon, he could face years in prison. If the court reinstates him, it would be a major political victory for South Korea's conservative base, but it could also ignite further unrest. At least 6 of the 8 justices must vote to remove Yoon from office. If they don't reach that threshold, Yoon will be reinstated, and South Korea's political landscape will shift dramatically. Police are already preparing for chaos. With bomb threats and potential violence on the table, authorities have announced that they are ready to deploy all available equipment to maintain order on the day of the verdict. So what happens next? Will the Constitutional Court side with Yoon's critics, or will they restore his presidency and risk further political division? And more importantly, how will this affect South Korea's fragile political balance? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Yoon's actions were justified, or did he cross the line? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth political coverage, only here on 2230.